Hey guys, we have some interesting astrology happening today. Mercury is yet again our highlight planet. We do have the sun and moon both in Virgo to start the day today, ruled by Mercury. We're also in a Gemini cycle, ruled by Mercury. But the good news is, you guys, Mercury is moving forward today. Mercury is moving to the next degree, leaving the degree where he's stationed to go direct and has been for quite a while now. So forward progress, forward movement is happening. But the big news today, you guys, is actually a grand trine in earth signs that is setting up between, yes, Mercury, but also the moon and Pluto in Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, where Mercury is right now. And the way I'm reading this energy, I really think that today could actually be a very significant day in terms of creating some type of genuine, physical change or healing or regeneration in some way that is taking place on both a mental and emotional level. Very profound, significant energy that we have going on today in the context of this grand trine in earth signs that is playing out. And then the moon's going to move into Libra and is going to form an opposition to Jupiter. So we should actually end the day today on some very positive, optimistic, and uplifting vibes, really trying to restore a sense of inner peace, balance, well-being, even though we are likely to start a little bit more intense in the morning. So let's get into this energy today, you guys, and see how all of this is playing out for us. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Today is Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological, energetic outlook of the day. And if you stick with me till the end of the report, I am going to be talking about some tarot cards that also came out in conjunction with the astrology that we have playing out today, just to give us a more well-rounded, energetic overview of what is really going on. So we'll get into that as well, but we are going to start, as we always do, with the astrology today, you guys. And pretty big day, the way that I am viewing this energy. Pretty unique transit that we have going on, characterizing what is unfolding today as well. Again, like I said, we have a Mercury emphasis going on in the chart, going on in the sky. We have the sun in Gemini, ruled by Mercury. We are in Gemini season. We had our Gemini new moon, ruled by Mercury. And to start this day and for this specific aspect, the moon is actually what is causing this aspect to happen, and the moon is going to be in the late degrees of Virgo, also ruled by Mercury. So really, we have this grand trine that is setting up in earth signs, like I said, but really 2 out of the 3 planets in this activation, in this energetic activation, are Team Mercury, are talking about the Mercury oriented vibes. And, we do have all of this Mercury energy that is being emphasized right now, this Gemini cycle, Gemini season, all of that. So there could definitely be some very powerful, very profound, or very transformative conversations, interactions, or encounters that are going on today. Messages and information that have some special significance may be playing a prominent role in what is playing out today as well. So wanted to mention that. And as I said, just for a little bit more Mercury stuff, Mercury is finally moving forward today as well. Mercury is moving from 27 degrees of Taurus, where Mercury was for a very long time, because that's the degree where Mercury stationed direct. So Mercury really slowed down, came to that degree, chilled out there for a little bit, stationed to go direct there, and then has been creeping very slowly forward, and then finally today starts, moves actually to the next degree. So this is representing a bit of forward progress, a bit of forward movement. But like I've been saying, I don't really think that we will feel the full force of the Mercury direct motion energy until Mercury leaves Taurus and enters Gemini. And that's actually going to be on the 13th of June, right before our full moon in Sag. So we do have a little bit of forward progress today. And this is also breaking the square to Saturn a little bit as well. We're going from a 1-degree orb to a 2-degree orb. So this could actually be alleviating the pressure and the tension or any sense of restriction that we may have felt in terms of our expression or our thoughts or our movement or our forward progress at this point in time. We could be getting a little bit of relief from that today as well. Although, like I said, I feel like it's going to be a couple more days until we really start feeling the actual impact of Mercury going direct as Mercury moves out of Taurus and into Gemini. But let's talk about this primary business, this main business that we have going on today, and that is this grand trine in Earth signs that is happening between Mercury, the moon in Virgo, and Pluto retrograde right now, actually, in the sign of Capricorn. This is a pretty big deal. This is an earth sign trine. I have noticed as an astrologer, when we're dealing with energy that is happening in earth signs, things have a tendency of actually like physically, tangibly happening. It's not like air signs where we're dealing in ideas. It's not like fire signs where we're dealing in passion and creativity and motivation, or like water signs where we're dealing in, this emotional energy. Like we're talking about the earth signs. We're talking about like things actually physically happening. And so with these three planets coming to this trine aspect. Now, this is a trine aspect. These are 120-degree angles. These are positive, facilitating, assisting angles. When we have trines operating, especially grand trines, especially in earth signs, things have a tendency of sort of like falling into place. Like they're just happening. Like we're not having to force, we're not having to try, like we're not even like really after it in any way. Like it's just, there it is. Like it's just happening. It's just like a part of the experience. And so we know we're dealing in earth signs, things potentially like physically happening for us. We know we're dealing in a trine, things just sort of falling into place. And then we are talking about Mercury, the mind. Okay, we are talking about the moon, our emotions, our emotional body, our feelings, our soul. And we are talking about Pluto, purging, purification, regeneration, transformation, the phoenix rising from the ashes energy. All these three planets in combination in earth signs in the trine, I feel like this is definitely talking about some type of very deep and powerful emotional and mental transformation that is underway, that is happening. Now, we have been dealing for quite a while with this energy of Mercury in trine to Pluto retrograde. Pluto stationed retrograde a few weeks back. And Mercury has been retrograde a while too. And Pluto and Mercury in trine together, this is really about like seeing under the surface of things, like getting to the root of it, like figuring out what's been going on. And this process of discovering, what's been hidden under the surface of things, really creating some type of profound and powerful mental transformation or mental healing in some type of a way. So this is energy that has been in effect, but now we are adding the moon there, right at the same specific location in the sign of Virgo, again, ruled by Mercury, pointing back to Mercury in the trine with Pluto. But with the moon coming there, this is setting up this three-prong planetary configuration, okay? So we're not just doing Mercury and Pluto anymore. Now we have the moon there as well, which is forming this grand trine, which is bringing our emotional body into things as well. So this is not only a regeneration and a purification and a transformation that is happening on a mental level, as we've been dealing with over this past few weeks while Mercury has been retrograding and forming this aspect to Pluto, but now this is definitely in terms of our emotional body as well. And because of the physical nature of the earth signs and the planets involved, I feel like, you guys, that things may be happening today, or something may be being triggered within us that is causing some type of like actual genuine physical healing to occur through this purging and release and transformation of toxic emotions and toxic mindsets. This is like some type of inner alchemization that could be going on today, you guys, that is creating some type of potential for a true physical healing happening that is helping us, as a result of being able to release and to purge any toxic negative attachments, specifically in regards to subconscious programming as well of the past. Because, Pluto in the sign of Capricorn rules structures and authority and the rules and like limitations and control. And Pluto there, breaks things down at the very last degrees of Capricorn and also retrograde. This is a like inward process of breaking down the limitations of the past and the authorities of the past. And in terms of the human psyche, the real powerhouse, the real authority, the real control center is the subconscious mind. And Pluto also represents like the deep, dark recesses of the psyche, right? And so I feel like there is some type of subconscious breakdown of like previously established programming that is happening in this energy that is like freeing and transforming our mind and our emotions in some way that is translating into some type of genuine like physical change or physical shift that could be going on in some way in this energy. It's regenerating our mental and emotional bodies. And I feel like there is just this potential for physical results to actually be coming from this. Now, because of the nature of Pluto, Pluto breaks things down, right, for the purpose of building them up in a much more powerful and evolved way, in a place of a much greater level and extent of self-empowerment. It's the phoenix rising from the ashes energy. And so this could also represent, some mental breakdowns that might be going on in this energy, or some emotional breakdowns that might be going on in this energy. And this could also relate, of course, because of the Mercury dynamic, to connections or communications, or partnerships or pairs. Stuff like that could also be being drawn into this equation because of the Mercury emphasis specifically, especially if these situations, these connections, these relations are based in any type of fear or trauma, or like trauma bonding or toxic attachments, especially like from the past that we are breaking through and breaking free from. But I do think, you guys, that this energy that we are in right now, this is a window of time that is trying to actually like bring us some type of like physical dimension of like true healing as a result of a real shift that is taking place in terms of our mind, and in terms of our emotions, and in terms of our subconscious mind and our psyche as well. Now, we can talk about this, of course, in the context of each specific planet in its specific sign and the role that it's playing in this trine. Like, for example, breakdowns, right? Pluto breaking things down of past structures, authorities, limitations, rules, subconscious programming, etc. The sign of Capricorn causing a shift in mindset, right? Based on a realization of the inner value, resources, and potential that we hold inside. Mercury in the sign of Taurus ruling values, resources, potential, and having the ability to really tap those and to create with them something that can provide some type of material success or abundance or stability, security, comfort in the material world. And this process inspiring an emotional healing as a result. The moon in Virgo. So we have Pluto in Capricorn. This is a breakdown of the structures of the past that have been holding us hostage or keeping us attached to things that are not necessarily productive for our growth going forward. And then we're talking about Mercury based on this discovery of the richness of the value and the resources that we hold within and what we can truly do with that. And then we're talking about the moon in Virgo, right? Like the sign of the healer, this emotional healing that is simultaneously going on. So it's like through this, mental reawakening to the truth of our own value, this emotional healing that is underway, and this breakdown of the subconscious patterning of the past that has been keeping us in a fear-based mindset or limiting our perception of our own personal power in any type of a way. So very powerful how this energy is activating and coming together in this trine today. And we're not going to have this again, because by the next time, that next month, when the sun or when the moon comes into the sign of Virgo, Mercury will be gone. Mercury will be back in Gemini. So this is only, this is like a one and done aspect right now. And I feel like it's going to have a pretty powerful impact as it plays out today. And then, as I said, you guys, so interesting, the moon is going to leave Virgo, because this is happening, 28, 29 degrees. Mercury's at 28 degrees of Taurus. Pluto's at 29 degrees of Capricorn, and when the moon is at 28, 29 degrees of Virgo, that is when this grand Earth trine is going to be in effect. But, right after that, 28, 29 degrees, right after that, the moon is going to leave Virgo and enter the sign of Libra, ruled by Venus. And then Jupiter, we have right now at 5 degrees of Aries. So as soon as the moon enters Libra, it's going to start forming an opposition, a reflection to Jupiter in the sign of Aries, which is reflecting back to us an expansive view, because Jupiter expands things, of our personal truth and giving us this expanded sense of faith, trust, and belief in ourselves in the sign of Aries, the sign ruling the self, and we're talking about the moon in Libra. Moon in Libra ruled by Venus, a desire or just inherent experience of like inner peace, inner love, inner balance, like this self-worth, this inner value, and the just more pleasant feelings that can arise as a result of that. So we are going from this like very intense, profound, transformative healing energy on a level that is encompassing both like our mind and our soul into an energy that really wants to restore this emotional peace and balance and love and beauty, and also is seeking justice. That's another aspect of the moon when it enters the sign of Libra, opposing Jupiter. This is also likely to bring some very expanded and overblown emotions. That can be a thing when we have a moon Jupiter opposition, but it's generally like more positive and optimistic emotions. And with the Jupiter in the sign of Aries, this is also talking about, you know, this faith, trust, belief in ourselves, or like a personal passion or a personal motivation or a personal desire to follow a new trajectory or to pursue our personal truth in one way or another. And this is also expanding this desire for justice and balance and peace as well, and bringing, again, these feelings of optimism, hope, trust, faith, and belief in ourselves and in our abilities. And it's so funny because we have Jupiter right now currently at 5 degrees of Aries. You guys, that Sabian symbol is a triangle with wings. And Jupiter is the planet that the moon is going to aspect right after making this grand trine. And what is a grand trine, you guys? A grand trine is a triangle aspect. It's 3 planets positioned so that they're in a perfect triangle with each other. And again, this is this earth sign trine that is likely to produce these physical changes, this physical healing, this physical like genuine regeneration, shift our actual perspective in a way that is like not like just fleeting, you know what I mean? That is like serious, like it's like the real deal. Like this is the real deal shift. Like this is the real deal energy that we have going on. And then, you know, the moon moves into opposition with Jupiter, and this is talking about a triangle with wings. You know, like this trine is elevating us and, you know, changing our reality, showing us that we can fly. So, you know, Jupiter at that degree, and also Venus, the ruler of Libra, where the moon will be when the moon, after the moon makes this aspect, leaves Virgo, moves into Libra. Venus right now is at 13 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a porter carrying a heavy mountain of baggage. So even this is talking to me like once the moon moves into Libra and starts making this opposition after whatever it is we've gone through, it's like we are ready to surrender our baggage like to the divine and sort of like ease our load, like take the burden off, like give our difficulties over to a higher power, you know, Jupiter, that faith, that trust, that belief that is helping us to come back into a place of inner balance, like inner peace, like just a much more positive vibe and emotional like experience than maybe we have been dealing with or feeling over the past couple of days when the moon has been in the sign of Virgo. So very, very interesting dynamic. We start off this day in this very deep and intense energy. We end with these like positive feelings and these like high hopes, perhaps true healing energy today. And I do feel like, you know, this could ultimately shift us for the better moving forward somehow. The degrees also where this trine, this triangle with wings is playing out today. We have Mercury, 28 degrees of Taurus. That Sabian symbol is a woman pursued by mature romance. This is also to me talking about and referencing this reevaluation or, you know, rediscovering the value that we hold inside of us and what that is worth to us and what that represents and what we will and we will not accept in relationships anymore based on this new relationship that we have to ourselves, and what this does to actually mature our own perception and way of dealing with like the heart-based matters of our experiences and, you know, our own relationship to ourselves, going through this maturation process, and as a result it changing the way that we deal with love relationships dynamics externally as well. All about this restoration and this rediscovering of this value inwardly that changes what we want and desire essentially externally, which I feel like is a part of this healing that is underway. And as Mercury has been retrograding, back into Taurus and staying at these degrees in Taurus, like I've been feeling like this, coming back into alignment with the truth of the value that we hold inside and what that means to us and how that changes our experience and perception of ourselves and what we can really do and create with that in our reality is being shifted right now. And that is like something that I feel like has been one of the lessons that we have been going through at this point in time. And I think that this is again being emphasized by this specific degree being brought up in the context of this trine that we have going on today. And we have Pluto right now at a woman reading tea leaves. This is about our ability to connect to higher power, to connect to the divine, to connect to our own intuition, and to be able to correctly interpret the guidance of our intuition so that we can achieve like the best outcome. So we have Mercury talking about a woman pursued by mature romance, shifting our relationship to our own value and the implication that has in terms of the experience of our relationships with others externally. And the woman reading tea leaves, and we have Pluto, retrograde at this degree, like really reworking our ability to connect and interpret our own spiritual connection and to follow our own intuitive guidance. And then the positions 28 and 29 degrees of Virgo, actually, where the moon will be in the exact trines today. 28 degrees of Virgo is a bald-headed man in uniform who has seized power. And 29 degrees of Virgo is a man gaining secret knowledge from an ancient scroll he is reading. So here we have the balance. We have two Sabian symbols talking about a woman. We have two Sabian symbols talking about a man. So we are like, this is bringing, the polarities into balance and both sides of the story, the divine feminine and divine masculine, into this energy, which are both undergoing this healing today. And also we have this Mercury, this masculine energy, and we have this moon, this feminine energy as well. And don't forget the sun is also in the sign of Gemini right now, Father, Sun, and Mother Moon, which is talking about Mercury as well. And then we have power and knowledge, who has seized power, gaining secret knowledge. So we are talking about a woman pursued by mature romance, a woman reading tea leaves, basically the feminine component of things, rediscovering the truth of the value within and being able to gain a stronger connection to the spiritual truths of this reality, and simultaneously the masculine component talking about seizing power and gaining knowledge, like Mercury, knowledge, Pluto, power, that is restoring our sense of self-knowledge, you guys, heading into the age of Aquarius, the age of self-knowledge and self-empowerment, self-mastery. This is healing us in such a way, restoring our value, restoring our spiritual connection, restoring our sense of self-empowerment, restoring our sense of self-knowledge and self-awareness, that is helping us to come to this place of inner wholeness, that is creating this healing effect physically, mentally, emotionally, across the board today. This could really be transforming us, or transforming our experience, or transforming our mindset, or transforming our feelings and our emotions somehow. And then again, it's so interesting then that the moon after that moves into Libra, talking about regaining the sense of inner peace, regaining this sense of self-love, like regaining this inner balance in the opposition to Jupiter, the triangle with wings, surrendering the burden, the porter carrying the baggage, the triangle with wings, this trine that is elevating us and showing us the truth of our power, essentially, and giving us a higher perspective and a higher viewpoint on things, and bringing back this faith, this hope, this trust, this optimism, these positive feelings all on the same day as well, that Mercury is finally shifting degrees, finally moving forward out of his position where he's stationed. So I am looking at this and reading this today, you guys, as a very profound, powerful day. People with a very strong Mercury dominant influence in their chart might be feeling this especially strongly, or experiencing this especially strongly, just because of all of the Mercury energy that is wrapped up in all of this. But ultimately, I feel like this is like a rare and unique, like powerhouse healing opportunity day across the board, essentially. And I feel like this is a very you wouldn't necessarily think it on like face value just looking at the chart, because there's no like major conjunctions or anything going on. But this grand trine, I really feel like, is something special. And I think that it is going to make some type of big impact. So that's what we got going on. And again, of course, with all this Mercury energy, like news, messages, media, information, like there could be some things happening on like a geopolitical level or like a macrocosm level today as well that are somewhat noteworthy, that are somehow leading to some type of healing or awakening or transformation across like the psyche and the emotional body of the collective as well. So really very interesting how this is coming together today, you guys. Let's talk about the tarot cards that came out for a minute as well. Got an interesting message from the tarot today when I was shuffling the deck, asking God, Spirit, Universe to please give me some symbolism to clarify what exactly is going on in this energy today as well. And it's so interesting. The first card that we had coming out of the deck today was the Ace of Wands. This is talking about this divine inspiration and also this fresh start, this new opportunity to really follow our passions, or, you know, be ignited on a very like heart-based level and this is also very, very creative energy. This is like a spark of creative inspiration or divine inspiration or divine like light and life vitality energy. And it's like, again, like a fresh start. This is the ace. This is the start of something, right? And then after that, you guys, we got the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Two of Pentacles in reverse, and then on the back of the deck was the Five of Wands in reverse, followed by actually the Knight of Swords and the Ace of Cups. So, you know, what this is actually saying to me, it's reminding me of the degree where Venus is today, actually, when the moon moves into Libra and starts activating Venus and opposing Jupiter. This Ace of Wands is also reminding me of Jupiter and Aries right now. This like massive blast of just like high vibrational energy in a fire sign, really like inspiring our creativity and our passion and our hope and our faith and our trust and our desire to like live and to experience something new and something exciting also. But with these, we got both. It's interesting. We got both the Five and the Seven of Wands, which if you look at these cards, they're kind of, you know, they're quite similar. They're both about like conflict or defending or pushing forward or just some type of like struggle that seems to be going on, but they're in reverse. And so this is actually telling me that in this energy that we have going on today, we are like surrendering whatever we've been fighting against, or whatever conflict we've been engaged in, or whatever we've been pushing back against, or whatever we've been pushing forward towards that has been giving us resistance, or whatever we've been resisting. Like any type of conflict or inner conflict or tension or stress or things that we've been like fighting to make happen that have just we've been facing a lot of resistance about. It's like we're laying down the weapons today. It's like we are surrendering somehow. And then we also had this Two of Pentacles. And this is like what we've been juggling as well, like the choices and decisions that we've been juggling, or just like what we've been going back and forth after, or just like what we've been trying to choose between, like that could have been creating some type of inner conflict or inner tension or pressure or like any of these things. Like we're basically like, this is basically to me like our burdens at this point in time, like the porter carrying the heavy mountain of baggage, the position of Venus today. Like I feel like this is talking about us collectively right now in this energy really needing to sort of like lay down our weapons, like put down the things that we've been fighting towards or against, like take the emphasis off of the choices and the decisions going on today. Like whatever we've been struggling about, whatever has been burdening us, whatever has been weighing us down or causing conflict or tension in our lives, like in this energy, we are being asked to sort of like lay that down and to not make it a priority today, because there is some type of information or insight or clarity that is cutting through, that is coming through, that is rushing towards us, some type of message, some type of news, some type of information, some type of an epiphany, or just something that like hits us out of nowhere, that like slices through the confusion in some type of way, some type of clarity rushing towards us, coming through. That is also, now here we have the Ace of Cups as well. We have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. That is, this is our emotional body. This is that moon that is healing and bringing us back, like rebirthing, like making fresh and new our emotions and our feelings and what we're holding inside of us on like that energetic vibrational level in terms of the feeling emotional energy that we are giving off, and also this divine inspiration that is coming through. So, there is something about the energy, about what is happening today, that is restoring our own emotional body, that is restoring our faith and trust and belief and hope for the future and desire to proceed and progress going forward based on some type of clarity that we are gaining, or some type of information that is coming to us, or some type of message that is delivered, or just some type of rapid change in the way that we are viewing things, or that we are understanding, or that we are conceiving of whatever has been going on. And it is causing this surrender of the burdens, of the difficulties, of what we've been struggling against for whatever reason. And it's restoring us, like it's bringing us back to life. It's creating a fresh start for us in one way or another. And I feel like, again, that is sort of right in alignment with whatever is transpiring in terms of the aspects that are playing out today as well. So we have that, and they do seem to, I feel like they are kind of giving the same message. So let's grab a synchronicity card now. I am going to shuffle these cards and just see if one wants to come out of the deck for us today. These are just little messages from God that can give us some advice that we need, or some inspiration, or some motivation, or just basically point us in the right direction in terms of things. Woo! All right, we had two cards spill out and they fell on the floor. So I'm going to grab them and then we'll read them. Okay. Interesting. And the two cards that we got for today are You Can Only Change Yourself and Bless Them and Walk On. So before we read these cards, I'm already feeling like, you guys, this is a day where we need to be focused on our own healing process, and again, like be able to surrender and understand that we cannot control anyone else's process or behavior or desire or experiences. And today is a day where we really need to be more focused on ourselves and leading through our own example. So first, let's read You Can Only Change Yourself. This says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Be an example for others. You cannot change others' behavior any other way except to show by good example what sort of things a good life can bring one. Forgive them for their failures, forgive them for their words, love them, and by your example, show them the way. This is the only way except to pray for them and to know to follow your example. So this, You Can Only Change Yourself is something that is significant that we need to keep in mind today. Also, we have Bless Them and Walk On. The words of a talebearer are as wounds as they go down into the innermost parts of the belly. Proverbs 26:22. You can see through the darkness of another's mind. Pluto, Mercury, Moon, Grand Trine. Wow, darkness, Pluto, mind, Mercury. You can see through the darkness of another's mind. You are not responsible for their negative thinking, and you cannot change their mind. Do not get involved, bless them, and walk on. So again, like this is a very strong message. Like to me, these two specific synchronicity cards coming out together really tells me that we need to not interfere in other people's processes today. What we need to do today is be, it's the Chiron vibe, you guys. Like that's what this is. Like this is a step in the Chiron hero's journey. Like we are transmuting our lower states into our higher states today, transforming, alchemizing with this Pluto energy, our emotional and our mental body. This is a very internal and like independent process. It's a very personal process, and we can help others through leading by our own example. But we should not, with Pluto involved and Mercury and the moon, be exerting any type of control, power, force over others today through our conversations, through emotional manipulation. You know, that could be another thing, which I have not mentioned in this report, that could come in this energy. Like, there could be some very powerful mental and emotional attempts at manipulation or deception today as well, because we are talking about the Pluto vibe and this an attempt to like overpower and control the mind and the emotions of others. I do not think that type of stuff is honestly supported in this energy, and that's why it doesn't come up to me when I'm like writing my outline or of the energetics. Like, I really feel like that's why it doesn't even come into my mind as much when we're talking about that dynamic of stuff, because those octaves of the energy are really not supported in our like transition into the age of Aquarius right now. However, there are of course people, places, scenarios, circumstances that are going to be manifesting along those lower octaves as well. So I should say that. And you know, these cards are definitely reminding me that we need to be very like detached from the whatever's going on with other people today. Bless them and walk on. So that is what we got. That is the message from the stars today, you guys. That is the message from the cards. I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, you guys, please give me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel. Share it with your friends if you think that they would be interested. Leave me comments, you guys. You know I love your comments. I appreciate each and every one of you so much. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below, and come back with me tomorrow, you guys. We're gonna have some more astrology to talk about, see how this grand trine played out today and what we have coming at us tomorrow. I will be here. You should be here too. You don't want to miss it, so I will see you then. Have a beautiful day, everybody, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.